Welcome back to chemistry session. Today we are going to discuss about electrolysis of aluminum oxide. Electrolysis is the breakdown of an ionic compound, molten or in solution, by the passage of electricity through it. Today we will discuss about electrolysis of aluminum oxide. Aluminum is the most abundant metallic element in the earth crust. The ore of aluminum is bauxite. It is an impure form of aluminum oxide. This electrolysis of aluminum oxide involves different stages. The extraction of aluminum from its ore we can done by different processes. That all processes are under the name Hall-Héroult process. The ore of aluminum is bauxite. This bauxite is first treated with sodium hydroxide to obtain pure aluminum oxide, removing impurities such as iron oxide and sand. First of all, we want to take the ore of aluminum, that is bauxite. It treated with the sodium hydroxide to obtain pure aluminum oxide. During that process, the impurities is easy to remove. This process improves the conductivity of the molten aluminum oxide. This process is called a leaching. Then purified aluminum oxide is then dissolved in molten cryolite. Using this molten cryolite, it helps to reduce the melting point of pure aluminum oxide, because the pure aluminum oxide, its melting point is 2017 degrees Celsius. It is a huge temperature. We want to lower down. To lower down, we are adding cryolite to the molten aluminum oxide. The cryolite provides a considerable saving in the energy requirement of the process. This is the Hall-Héroult cell that is used in industry to extract aluminum by electrolysis. In the given diagram, you can notice there are two electrodes that is made of graphite. Graphite electrodes are there. Then a tank that lined with the graphite that act as cathode. Purified aluminum ore that dissolved in molten cryolite used as electrolyte. External circuit, electricity will be connected. In this Hall-Héroult cell, we use graphite electrodes. The cathode is the graphite lining of the steel vessel containing the cell. Anode is graphite anode. The aluminum oxide is an ionic compound. When it is melted, the ions become mobile. That means the strong electrostatic force of attraction between them are broken. During the electrolysis, the negatively charged oxide ions attracted at the anode, that means positive electrode, and aluminum ions that are attracted to the cathode. The reaction, the positive aluminum ions are attracted to the cathode, that is negative electrode. They gain electrons to form molten aluminum metal. Here reduction takes place. Al3 plus 3 electrons gives Al. But in the case of anode, the negatively charged oxide ions attracted to the anode, that is positive electrode. where they lose electrons, that is oxidation takes place. The molten aluminum collects at the bottom of the cell. There is one issue happen. We want to replace the anode frequently because this oxygen and gas released at anode, that anode is made up of graphite, that react, that is anodes burn away. Due to that reason, we want to replace anode frequently. That's all about electrolysis of aluminum oxide. Now, the choice of aluminum extraction site. There are a number of important factors to consider when choosing the site of an aluminum extraction plant. It should be, the first one, in close proximity to a power station in order to provide the large supply of electricity needed for the electrolysis, near the coast to allow for the import of raw materials, near a town or city so that workers have somewhere to live close by, away from built up areas so that the noise and pollution of the site do not affect the local population. Now we are going to discuss about electrolysis of ionic solution. Electrolyzing aqueous solution of ionic compounds can be more complicated than electrolyzing molten compounds because the water molecules can provide H plus and OH minus ions in addition to the ions from the ionic compound. Normally in the molten case there is only 2 ions, but in this case the material, that is for example sodium chloride solution, sodium chloride ions, that is sodium ions, chloride ions along with H plus and OH minus ions also there. To check this, we want to electron. If the negative ion from the ionic compound is symbol like Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, that is halide ions, then that element is produced. If there is Cl minus or Br minus is there, you can write that corresponding halogen, that ion will move to the negative, move to the positive electrode. That is, that negative ion will move to the positive electrode. If the negative ion is a compound ion like NO3 minus, SO4 2 minus, then oxygen is produced from the hydroxide ion in present instead. That means oxygen will be released at the positive electrode. So now one example, copper chloride. If you are taking copper chloride solution, there are 2 ions positively charged, copper and hydrogen. If you are checking the periodic reactivity series, the copper will move to the negative electrode. In the case of positive electrode, chlorine will be liberated. Next example, sodium chloride. Sodium is highly reactive than hydrogen. So sodium will stay in the solution medium. Hydrogen deposited at negative electrode. Chlorine released at positive electrode. Hydrochloric acid, hydrogen at negative electrode and chlorine at positive electrode. That's all about electrolysis of aqueous solutions. There are some guidelines related to the electrolysis. First one, non-metals are produced at the anode, whereas metals and hydrogen gas produced at the cathode. At the inert anode, chlorine, bromine and iodine, that means the halogens, are produced in preference to oxygen. At the inert cathode, hydrogen is produced in preference to metals unless unreactive metals such as copper and nickel are present. These are the 3 guidelines related to electrolysis. Thank you.